Today we're going to be looking at the top 12 rookies in Dynasty ADP. We're going to go over their player values, how they rank against the veterans and their spot in ADP. Ask you the tough questions of which players you rather have, the veterans or the rookie. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. I'm helping you build your Dynasty teams. I'm helping you get ready for draft season. I'm helping you win your trades and everything else. Click that button. Stop missing out. The first rookie, and I imagine you guessed it, that we're looking at today. And mind you, we're looking at 1 QB ADP per DynastyLeagueFootball.com. Marvin Harrison Jr. Big time playmaker, big time prospect, wide receiver 5, ADP of 6. Him or Amon-Ra St. Brown, him or Bijan Robinson, him or Christian McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, who would you rather have? If he gets over 1,000 yards this year, if he has a string of games where he goes off, and I'm just talking like bare minimum stuff, his value is going to be up there. If he has a bonkers season, if he goes off, and he's a wide receiver 1, he's going to be untouchable in value. Right now, he's the wide receiver 5. People had him ranked high about a year ago anyways. Marvin Harrison Jr. is locked in. Even if he has a bad season, people are still going to want to buy Marvin Harrison Jr., so he's going to be very liquid. And compare him against some of the other veterans there. His stock, though, his stock price alone kind of keeps him up there because you can really sell him for whatever you want. But you also got Garrett Wilson with Aaron Rodgers now. Bijan Robinson, probably going to have a better year there with Kirk Cousins and company. Christian McCaffrey, how much longer are you really going to have him? We're also getting down there in ADP, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, already there. Top tier wide receiver with top tier production. Who would you rather have? But Marvin Harrison Jr., elite prospect, generational prospect, wide receiver 5 in ADP. Malik Neighbors coming off the board here as wide receiver 10, ADP at 13. The players being drafted around him. Tyreek Hill or Malik Neighbors, who would you rather have? Jahmyr Gibbs or Malik Neighbors, who would you rather have? Him or Jonathan Taylor, him or Chris Olave? Malik Neighbors has top tier upside. Comp to Jamar Chase by Player Profiler. You see that there in the bottom below. This guy's nasty after the catch. He's nasty at the catch point. He's explosive. I consider him a generational prospect as well. Danny Dimes needs to kick it into gear, and Danny Dimes likes to push it downfield. He's never had a wide receiver like this before. I feel like at this price tag, wide receiver 10 and ADP 13, I think this is a great price tag. I would be in on this as well. I like this price tag here. I would take him over a lot of these veterans that I mentioned and some more that are right behind him. I think Malik Neighbors does have the potential to usurp that. And if he falls on his face this year, he's going to hold his value. I just don't really see that happening. But Malik Neighbors, wide receiver 10 compared to Marvin Harrison Jr.'s ADP, I like it. But Romo Dunn, if you want to go a little cheaper, if you want to go a little bit cheaper, wide receiver 16, so our wide receiver 2 range, ADP 23. We are productive in college, 1,600 yards last year, 13 touchdowns. Size adjusted speed score is there. Not just a one-year wonder. We are productive in 2022 as well. But looking at where he's going, do you take him or Jalen Waddle? Him or Nico Collins? Him or Travis Etienne or Devonta Smith? Those are some tough asks considering. But you're also looking at a rookie wide receiver here paired with Caleb Williams. Him and Devonta Smith's a tough one. Let me know what you think. Him and Jalen Waddle's a tough one. He's on the Dolphins. Dolphins fast-paced offense. Waddle's not old. Nico Collins got CJ Stroud. But Romo Dunn does have top-tier upside. The thing about Romo Dunn, though, you can buy him maybe a little bit cheaper or at a reduced cost. If DJ Moore and Keenan Allen siphons targets or eats targets away from each other, slows down Romo Dunn as a rookie, and maybe he flashes a little bit and you're still in. Maybe you can catch him cheaper than wide receiver 16. But again, he's up there in price. The upside is huge, though, with him. A good speculative asset, but you do have some good trendy wide receivers here that can really be productive for you for a long time. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver 28, ADP 45.67. We got 4.21 speed, elite speed on an elite offense, so it's really hard to look away from him. But who are you taking, him or Tank Dell? You taking him or Jordan Addison? Who are you rolling with? Compare his profile to Jordan Addison's profile. Both of them have early breakout ages. Both of them highly productive. Jordan Addison's got a quarterback change right now. Jordan Addison's competing with Justin Jefferson. Xavier Worthy right now is competing with Hollywood Brown, but that could be a short-term thing. Xavier Worthy, though, has Patrick Mahomes. Xavier Worthy versus Tank Dell. Tank Dell's competing with Nico Collins. Tank Dell is competing with Stephon Diggs. Xavier Worthy, though, a young buck in the league. And usually with the Chiefs, it takes some time for players to really kick it into gear in that offense. He was injured in minicamp, was missing in a lot of practices. That being said, we got to see what's going on with him in training camp. That being said, though, the upside's immense. We're in a great offense here, and a lot of people are going to be buying in. Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? Him or Brock Bowers? Him or Mark Andrews? Him or Travis Kelce? Those are some big decisions right there. The value's kind of high. It's kind of iffy. But now we're looking at Brock Bowers, and this is kind of the rookie runway in ADP. But Brock Bowers, valued as the tight end 3. And that seems kind of high as a positional ranking in ADP, as people are drafting him off the board. But remember, any given week, the tight end 8 scores like 8 or 9 fantasy points. So you really want to shoot for upside at the position. You want to get young at the position. We're seeing some rookies be productive. And this guy's got some gusto. Not only can he play tight end, but he could be the team's big slot, as they got Michael Mayer as well, which only benefits him because he'll run more routes, have more opportunities. It's not like they're going to put him on the bench or give him limited opportunities due to Michael Mayer. They can put him in the slot, let the other wide receivers on the outside, and let this one rip. Tight end 3, ADP 48. Consider a generational prospect at the tight end position. You taking him or Mark Andrews? Are you rolling that dice on Mark Andrews? Mark Andrews, an older tight end. Brock Bowers, elite tight end prospect, elite draft capital, elite production, yards after the catch monster. What are you doing here? I like Brock Bowers. I do. I like him a lot. But Jonathan Brooks, RB11, ADP 50, usually the RB1 in rookie drafts, and typically the RB1 in rookie drafts don't fall this far. And he's probably on the field this year, somewhere down the line, and he's going to usurp all the running backs on this roster, and he's going to get the touches. You catch him at RB11 here, and he's young, he's new to the league, he's a rookie, he's got some upside, he's got some pop in the step. I like this price tag against the running backs, and you're looking at his value. Him versus Travis Kelce, him versus Jackson Smith-Njigba, him versus the wide receivers. Usually those wide receivers go ahead of him in rookie drafts. But Jonathan Brooks could be a sneaky pick here. You're getting him as a back-end RB1 value, maybe early RB2 value. But still, there's a lot of upside here. Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver 29, ADP 52. He's getting drafted in rookie alley here in ADP. But 4.3 speed paired with Trevor Lawrence. And you're looking at these dichotomies. Brian Thomas Jr. or Jackson Smith-Njigba? What are you doing with that one? What are you doing? I want to know what you're thinking about that one. Him or Isaiah Pacheco? Him or Kyle Pitts? Who are you rolling with? You'll probably take him over Stephon Diggs. You'll probably or should take him over Jaden Reed due to the upside. Paired with Trevor Lawrence, 4.3 speed. Trevor Lawrence loves pushing the ball downfield. Top 5 quarterback in the league when it comes to deep ball attempts last year. He's going to get a good average depth of target. So at minimum, if he's running routes, seeing targets, he's Will Fuller. But the upside's so immense that he could be a top 5 wide receiver. He could be one of those. He could be one of those. And you're taking a stab at this at wide receiver 29. So say you went veteran wide receivers early and you're like, hey, let's go Brian Thomas Jr. Let's get that upside first round pick. Let's do it right now. I wouldn't hate you on that. But Keon Coleman, Wide receiver 36, ADP 58.67. Did not go off in the counting stat department, no 1,000-yard receiving seasons, but we broke out at Michigan State in 2022, and then at 2023 we transferred to Florida State, instantly produced there, just 658 yards and 11 touchdowns, but still that LSU game, that first game with Florida State, go check that out. Even if you just gotta look at the highlights, go check that out. And now we're on a Buffalo depth chart. Depleted at wide receiver. Josh Allen is a YOLO quarterback that loves to push it downfield. Keon Coleman commands deep ball targets that are contested. Sticky hands. If he's covered, he's open. He's in the perfect situation for his skill sets. He's looking good in OTAs, minicamp, and rookie camp. Everybody's saying good things about him. He is a rookie. You got to expect some ramp up. But looking at the dichotomy here, him or Cooper Kupp, him or Mike Evans, him or Rashee Rice. Who are you taking? You taking the older vets and getting the production now? Or are you taking the speculative rookie? You taking him or Rashee Rice? Rashee Rice is going to be suspended for a few games, but he's back with the Chiefs, seeing targets. But he's on the Bills, seeing good targets as well. If he's on the field, if he takes a step forward. Ladd McConkey, wide receiver 38 in ADP. ADP 68.17. Off the board here. 4.39 speed. Elite route runner with Justin Herbert and company. But this could be a slower paced offense down the line. But looking at this, him or TJ Hawkinson, him or Terry McLaurin, him or Amari Cooper. The thing about this though, you got a guy with high draft capital still. 202 off the board in the second round. Second player in the second round. But again, you got some good veterans there. But the veterans though are starting to tear out. And you got yourself a good wide receiver with draft capital, with a good quarterback in a good system, or a potentially good system, but the system's ran by Justin Herbert, which we like here. So he's going to be seeing good targets. Safe route runner with good speed here. Could be electric, something Justin Herbert needs. Justin Herbert, when he likes a target, he spams it. We've seen that, but it was Keenan Allen, but he also did it with Mike Williams as well. Ladd McConkey, wide receiver 38. You taking him or the vets? Trey Benson, RB16 off the board. He's being valued as an RB2. ADP 73.83. But we have 4.39 speed. Good size adjusted athleticism here at 216 pounds. Him versus Amari Cooper. Him versus Chris Godwin. Him versus Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's going to get you the production for the now. This year, next year. Can't really look farther than that. He's an older running back, and he is a running back. Trey Benson, a young running back in the league, in an offense where you have to account for Kyler Murray's rushing production. You also got Marvin Harrison Jr., and if he clicks, you can't stack the box. Trey Benson's got speed, and you're looking at RB16. That's a cheap get. That's a cheap get for an RB2 in a class with 4.39 speed that people were talking up prior to the draft. That's a cheap get. That is very safe. Say he busts, it's not going to kill your team in a startup draft. It's just not going to do that. Think about it in those regards. You are going to miss out on some vets, but if you bust, some of those vets are going to be on their way out anyways, and you're taking that gamble on a speculative asset. But Caleb Williams, QB10 off the board. This is one QB. Maybe I should redo this up in Superflex. ADP 81.33. The thing about this, you're looking at a rookie quarterback in a 1 QB league. A lot of people are going to keep fading. A lot of people are going to go quarterback a little bit early. But you're looking at this, him versus George Kittle, DeAndre Swift, Marquise Brown, Joe Mixon, Ramondre Stevenson. There are some other positions I think I might lean to off the board, like a Joe Mixon or something like that, and moneyball the quarterback position. But if I want to go young and cheap at quarterback, then Caleb Williams is the guy. Really makes more sense talking about him with Superflex, but in 1 QB, there are some players I will take ahead of him that are behind him, but mainly Caleb Williams. Things are starting to tear off, and he's starting to look a little bit more sexier. Ricky Pearsall, our 12th player off the board here. Ricky Pearsall, a sneaky name because there's other wide receivers and running backs to look at here. 4.41 speed, elite route runner, older wide receiver prospect, weird collegiate career. We're on a 49ers team where we don't know what the depth chart's going to look like on the long term. The team's got to make decisions with Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. This wide receiver depth chart's going to look different over the course of time. Ricky Pearsall could be the team's wide receiver 1, or it could be the team's wide receiver 3 to 4 over the course of time. That's the thing about this. He is a first-round pick. First-round picks have better odds than day 2 guys of hitting. But at this price tag, wide receiver 47, and him just being a first-round pick with good size adjusted athleticism is something you may want to take a stab on as well. And then things are tearing off. Him or Javonte Williams, him or Keenan Allen, him or Alvin Kamara, him or Ramondre Stevenson, David Montgomery. Maybe you take a stab at a first-round pick here and see if he clicks. And this might be over the long term. A weird collegiate career. We were starting to ramp up at Arizona State, and then we transferred out. Instantly broke out at Florida, but the counting stats weren't there. Remember, Anthony Richardson was there. He was the leading receiver there. And then last year in 2023, his best season, 965 yards, but only 4 touchdowns. But again, he was a highlight reel machine, sticky hands. Cerebral route runner with good speed. He's on an offense where you can make the story he could usurp everybody when it comes to the contract situations with everybody, but he could also be on the outside looking in, so he's a bit of a gamble. But he's got first-round draft capital. His highlight tape, his skill set is good for the NFL game, how it's played in space. Very assertive player, good hands. Are you buying him or are you taking the veterans? Things are tearing off where you're looking at rookies here, especially rookie wide receivers with first-round draft capital. Usually, you do not see a rookie wide receiver with first-round draft capital pushing ADP 100. I know it says ADP 90, but that's pushing ADP 100 because he's going to fall in other drafts. Are you buying up or are you going with the vets? But those are the top 12 rookies in ADP. We're covering the values. We're doing tit for tat with the veteran players that are around them in ADP. Let me know who you're picking up, who you're drafting. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on next video.